disguise. I be trying to get away from my problems. Yeah, you can run, but you can't hide. I've been up fighting my demons, and they be trying to pull me in. Yeah, every night I seen them. I won't back down, I'ma beat them. Yeah, I've been up fighting my demons, and they be trying to pull me in. Yeah, every night I seen them. I won't back down, I'ma beat them. I'm starting to feel like I've been under pressure. I'm keeping my foot on their neck, I won't let up. I know when I fall down, I gotta just get up. I brush it all off, I'm better than ever. Been through a lot, but I'm never gonna settle. Know that I've been heating up like a kettle. Thinking back when I was studying dental. Now I got plaques coming on the way, that's special. Yeah, they all come from my spot, but I never stop moving. Gotta do more when I feel like I'm losing. Putting in work, that's the only solution. You the only one who you really be fooling. Damn, trying to find peace inside my head. I've been talking to God, but I'm left on red. I ain't got time to be feeling upset, so I keep doing my best. I've been up fighting my demons, and they be trying to pull me in. Yeah, every night I seen them. I won't back down, I'ma beat them. Yeah, I've been up fighting my demons, and they be trying to pull me in. Yeah, every night I seen them. I won't back down, I'ma beat them.
Greatest show you've ever seen.
Nobody does it like Simone.
The opening ceremony of the Tokyo Olympics. Tonight on NBC.
We done came here to party tonight. Celebrate for the rest of our lives. All the games we gon' leave them aside. You know men lie, woman lie, but the money multiply. We came here to party tonight. Celebrate for the rest of our lives. All the games we gon' leave them aside. You know men lie, woman lie, but the money multiply. Hey, run it up, made a lot, but that's not enough. Got the labels all calling us, talking to me, but I hang it up, cause I got my fans and I'm proud of us. Never do it for the cameras, song a week and that's stamina. Keep it going, I'm an animal, I unleash when they let me loose. I've been ready since like 02, getting my bread, now how about you? 100% that's all I do, so now please don't talk about me. Sold out shows, that's all I see, yeah they said no I in team, so I gotta be MVP. Come on. We done came here to party tonight, celebrate for the rest of our lives. All the games we gon' leave them aside. You know men lie, woman lie, but the money multiply. We came here to party tonight, celebrate for the rest of our lives. All the games we gon' leave them aside. You know men lie, woman lie, but the money multiply. Hey, never getting too cozy, cause they all coming for me. Used to sleep on the rollaway, now the whole team got the rollies. Roll deep in the Suburban, backseat and she working. This the life that I dreamed about when I could've paid a room service. Now it's electric curtains, but I still just scratch the surface. I'ma get right back to working, till I get my mom's the Birkin, till I get my pops the new bands, till I get my bro a few M's, till I got the whole fam, they ain't never gotta go to work again. We done came here to party tonight, celebrate for the rest of our lives. All the games we gon' leave them aside. You know men lie, woman lie, but the money multiply. We came here to party tonight, celebrate for the rest of our lives. All the games we gon' leave them aside. You know men lie, woman lie, but the money multiply. When it come down to it, I'ma bet on me. Ain't nobody fuck with me mentally. Talking that shit, you dead to me. Cause I ain't got time for my enemies. Told her come through, get ahead to me. Telling that truth, it'll set you free. I ain't like them, cause I'm all I need. When it come down to it, I'ma bet on me. Let me tell you right now, I'm the realest. Ain't nobody else ever do it like
What's up, motherfuckers? Welcome to GSR Gonzo'S Sports Room, July 23rd, 2021. Here on this Fired Up Friday. Got a big show for you guys today. We have a special guest from all the way from California. Ice Cole, host of the Ice Cole Show. We'll get that going here in just here in just a second. But before we get to that, don't forget we're live every Monday through Friday with Easy Money, a sports betting show at 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And then GSR Gonzo Sports Room is live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Check out our social media pages at Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room. Check out our YouTube page. Please hit that subscribe button. Also, we now have merch available at streamlabs.com/Gonzalez Sports/merch. Please go check that merch out. There's also a donation page with that same link if you'd like to donate to help the show grow. We'll be live later this evening at 7:30 for the BKFC 19 bare knuckle boxing. Paige Van Zant is in the main event against Ostovich. That starts at 8 p.m. this evening. We'll be live at 7:30 with live reaction to that. And then we'll also be live tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time for the UFC Fight Night, Sandhagen versus Dillashaw. Prelims start at 4. Main card starts at 7. We'll be live at 3:30 with live reaction to that. But all right, that's enough of me talking. Let's get to the show. Hope you guys enjoy. What's up, motherfuckers? Welcome to GSR Gonzo Sports Room. Give a shout out to Bazanji for the beat there. Got Steve in the house tonight. Eric's here in the house. Also, tonight's a big night. We have our first guest that we've had on the show. Host of the Ice Cold Show. We got Ice Cold.
Here we are. It's my first time here, but welcome back. You know, that's an inside joke for y'all right there.
Yeah. Welcome.
Man, I'm glad to be here, guys. I'm glad to be here.
Hell yeah, man. We glad to have you on, man. Real.
Got a lot to talk about, too.
Man, it's been a long time coming.
Hell yeah.
If only they knew what it took for us to get here at this point right now.
All the technical difficulties.
Man.
I was so sick. I was so sick Monday night when we turned that on. I was like, oh man. Because we both felt so good about it when it ended.
Yeah.
Bro, if you guys felt good, I got off like, man, that was amazing. That was a good combo. It was no structure really. We just talked and it flowed and we branched off into a bunch of things. But you know, it'll be easy to recreate, man. We got a lot to talk about today.
Oh yeah, had the Bucks won the NBA Finals last night.
Man.
Hey,
had to
Bucks,
hit him with
baby.
the applause.
Bucks at 6. I called that shit.
Man, facts. Shout out Giannis.
Do you think that was the most dominant performance in a closeout game in finals history? What Giannis did?
For me personally, I would have to say, me only being 26, I've seen a lot of finals, but I haven't seen all of them live. So I haven't seen a lot of Jordans like live where I'm watching it as I am now with my basketball mind that I have. But the best finals game I would say would be LeBron against Golden State in round 1, the last time they played or whatever. This was better. This was like definitely better because he had so much control of the game, not just on offense, but on defense. On the pick and roll, I don't know why they kept putting Giannis in the pick and roll, but he was shutting shit down like the whole game. So, I mean, it was incredible. You just watching and you're like, there's nothing they can do. There's no. People are like texting me like Chris Paul's choking this and that. I'm like, no, bro. Like Giannis is just ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Paul had a good game, but Giannis was something different last night.
Bro.
Man.
Single-handedly one of the best performances, bro, I ever seen, dog. Like, that shit was crazy what he was out there doing. It seemed like every second he was blocking a shot, getting a bucket. Like, bro was going crazy, bro.
I honestly don't think there's any team in the NBA that would have beat the Bucks last night.
I damn
Giannis-
near would agree.
Giannis was just, man. I mean,
And
like you said, on the defensive end, even the ones he got called goaltending, but just seeing your star hustle like that makes the rest of the team come on.
And it kept the crowd engaged.
Yeah.
You know, man, he was. To say like I don't expect it from him would be wrong, because I know what he can do on the floor. But for him to go out there and look confident shooting free throws, like he was so locked in, like there was no way he was gonna lose that game. And it was like, okay, like you deserve to be here, you deserve the credit, you deserve to be the best player in the league right now, or whatever the case may be. I mean, he stamped it, and he's only 26. Like he's only 26. So yeah, there's you can't say enough about how Giannis played last night.
To me, one of the underrated things about him was coming back. How many other guys would that injury, they'd have been out?
Oh,
Bro.
that hyperextended knee?
Right.
Oh,
Imagine
bro.
Durant's little skinny twig leg. That's snapping it in half.
Bro, I don't know how he walked.
Yeah.
After,
And then to perform the way he did afterwards, to me is what was impressive.
When we
above
saw that
everything
live,
else.
we thought he was done for the rest of the playoffs.
100%.
Yeah, I thought he tore his MCL, ACL, whatever.
I thought he was done for the playoffs, half of next year. I thought his ass was done.
Yeah,
When
I
seen that
agree.
shit.
To me, that was impressive.
When
right
they showed
there.
that shit in slow motion, I said, Giannis is done, bro. He's done. He broke his leg.
But look if you think about it, in the finals, look how many chase down blocks Giannis had.
Bro, it was unbelievable.
And at big times. That one in the game 5 was one of the most unbelievable blocks I've ever seen.
That's the one with the alley-oop one?
Yeah.
Best.
Oh, man.
That was crazy, because you couldn't tell me he was going to get that. Like, there was no way I would have been like, yeah, he's going to snag that. And he just snatched it right out of thin air and smacked it out his hands. It's just like crazy. Just for his story, and I know like it doesn't matter per se, but it adds so much more to it when you hear where he comes from. You know, father died, didn't play basketball till he was like fucking 13 or something.
And how little he was.
Yeah,
know,
196 pounds. And then for all 3 of them to have titles, like, okay, the little brother was with the Lakers. Obviously, he didn't do shit in the finals, but for all 3 of them to come from Greece to America and win NBA finals, like all have a ring and go back, you couldn't tell me like that was in their wildest of dreams.
That shit
You
was
know?
crazy.
And one thing I loved about it too was how humble he was after all the press conferences and stuff after the game.
Yeah, I fuck with Giannis heavy.
Yeah, man.
I liked how he took a shot at guys building super teams. He said, I could have done it the easy way.
Yeah.
He I could have done it the easy way, but I done it the hard way.
He did it.
He made sure he let people know that.
He did that because of James Harden. Because James Harden said that he wished he could be just 7 foot tall and run down and dunk on people. That don't take no skill. He said, I actually have to get skill. And he was really throwing shade at Giannis, you know.
You know, we got to talk about that right there, because there's that false narrative that Giannis doesn't play with skill, and that shit blows my mind.
Blows my mind, bro.
He can guard fucking 1 through 5. And like, maybe that was a question before, but he literally guarded Chris Paul on switches, Devin Booker on switches. He guarded DeAndre Ayton. And then the fact that he can go straight at you, you know, he has no moves. You know, he's going to come at you and do the fucking Euro step, and you cannot stop it. Like, that's a talent. It's the same people who say, hey, LeBron's not a scorer. He may not be a scorer, but if he's averaging 25 points in his fucking career, he's a scorer. Like, Giannis is just incredible. 50 points without having skills. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, man.
50-point game. Imagine if he had skills, right?
If you try to play the Euro step, he hits you with that spin move.
That spin move, unstoppable.
He looked very skilled. After what everyone said last night, he looked skilled. The way he moved on the floor, everything.
He's improved his mid-range game a lot too.
Yes, he did. I'm happy for him and Middleton being like, what is it said, like 8 years together. They've played with each other their whole freaking careers pretty much. And for them to go from nothing, not playing, how many second-round picks is it on that team? You got PJ Tucker's a second-round pick. Middleton's a second-round pick. Like, there's a lot of second-round picks on that team.
And a second-round pick?
I think so. I think Bobby Portis was like pick number 20 something in the first round. But
maybe.
Yeah, all those guys who you would never think would come together and make a championship team. And like Giannis really elevated them, and Middleton was able to kill it in the fourth quarters, and Drew Holiday's defense, like all the pieces just came together, and you saw it click for them like the last three games. Game one, the first game they won was in game three. It was like, okay, whatever. I expected you to win. You're down 0-2. You came and blew them out the water. Phoenix kind of had a stinker, but the next three games they won, they looked perfect. Like you couldn't nitpick them for anything. They played their game. They stuck to it. They took good shots. They played good defense. The Suns didn't play necessarily bad. They just got outplayed by a better team. So, and nothing bad to say about the Suns, really. The Bucks were just better, like head and shoulders better.
I think the Suns kind of got out of their game and went a lot of ISO that last game. Like, use what got you there. Use what's working. Why are you going to switch it in the biggest game, of the series?
Agreed.
I think Monty Williams got a little outcoached last night.
It's
Budenholzer
fair to say.
Especially the last three games, Budenholzer made adjustments where you really didn't see no adjustments from Phoenix.
Give Budenholzer credit because I had him fired.
I did too.
I had him fired.
Right.
And I remember saying it on my podcast a couple episodes. I think after game two, my thing was, okay, look, Sark is out. There's no size on the Suns, right? And I was kind of making fun of Coach Bud. I'm like, maybe they should hire me because I know this idiot's not going to make any changes. I wouldn't play Brook Lopez and Giannis together. It makes no sense. It doesn't really benefit you. Stagger their minutes, force DeAndre Ayton to play 48 minutes without fouling. And then you saw it. He either staggered their minutes or he played all three of them together. Bobby Portis, Brook Lopez, and Giannis. And Phoenix didn't know what to do because that ball movement, it wasn't really working. And then you can't penetrate and get inside they're too big up inside. So it was just a great game plan by Coach Bud, really. And Phoenix looked young for the first time all playoffs. They looked young. They looked like they didn't know the moment was too big. Darren Hairlights, it was hard to watch. Yeah. It was hard to watch them just collapse like that because they collapsed. Complete collapse.
Some of them clean looks Booker was getting are usually in.
Mm-hmm.
He just couldn't hit nothing last night. He couldn't buy a bucket. He even missed a couple like layups early in the game.
Yeah, fumbling the ball and stuff. Weren't they up like 13 at one point, I want to say, last night? And then the game before that, they were up by 16 at one point. So, like you said, man, Monty Williams wasn't able to adjust. But I think more or less than Monty Williams, the Suns team is good, cohesive unit. But they don't have only Devin Booker really, but with the Bucks, Middleton can take over a whole quarter, a whole half. Giannis is going to be absolutely unstoppable off rip. So it's like Drew Holiday's playing 94 feet of defense like that. They're just going to be a tough team. Like you said, I don't think a lot of teams would have beat them last night. They were just tough defensively. Like, it was an incredible game, man. Incredible game.
I got a question for you. Does that team win with Brogdon instead of Holiday?
I don't think
because Holiday is his defense. I mean, they're both good defensively.
I think so because of Brogdon's defense.
I don't know. Holiday was kind of a little bit of the X factor to me in this. At least the last three games.
I would have to say Brogdon maybe gives you a little more stability on offense as far as a floor general in a way, and his defense is really good, but the way that Drew Holiday, his physicality and his size, the way he uses his size on defense, I think that's what hurt Chris Paul. Because if you've seen from games 1 and 2, it just started going like this. Even when he would have a good game, he had put so much energy and effort that it would be like long gaps where Chris Paul is just deferring. And I'm like, that's just the Drew Holiday effect right there. Yeah. That's the difference. Yeah. That's why you go get him.
That's what I was saying. Before this season, I wanted the Pacers to get Drew Holiday, and they ended up getting Brogdon, and I was like, Drew Holiday is going to be the X factor in that series right there. And the big steals that he was coming up with, in clutch moments, just shows you why. Yeah.
What about for for Phoenix to look at it from the losers, I mean, you can't say they did. This is probably the best chance they're going to have. You got the Lakers injury. You got Kawhi getting hurt. You got no Jamal Murray against the Nuggets. Then, KD gets hurt on the east side, so you don't have to face the Nets, and you go up 0-2. That was rough. And
Embiid getting hurt.
Embiid getting, so for Phoenix to not even be expected to be there, but to go up 0-2, I just felt like, come on, man, you got to win 2. You only got to win 2 out of the next 5. And for them to win not another one,
I think Monty Williams should have tried starting Cameron Payne in one of them last 2 games, just to change it up a little bit, because he was like a spark plug for that team. It seemed like when he was in there.
He played well last night too, when no one else kind of had it going. And early on, he kind of helped them stay afloat. But it was a lot of people talk about Chris Paul being a choke and things like that, and then I just, like I said, I've talked about it with you guys last time. Chris Paul, I'm a big Chris Paul fan. I kind of like the dirty player in him. I like the extracurricular. I just like him. He kind of gets under everyone's skin, and I don't know what it is about him, but he gets such a bad rap for his playoff record when he's done so much good in the playoffs. Like he's blown 2-0 leads, but Blake Griffin only plays like 15 minutes in one series, like in the last 2 games, scoring like 4 points in one of them. He gets hurt in a couple ones, or he's playing against the 08 Spurs. You know what I mean? Like, it's so much that happened in his career. And for me, I don't see him getting back there, getting back to the finals, not in the West at least. So it was hard. Like, as happy as I was for Giannis, it sucked to see the Suns go down like that. It sucked. It sucked.
I was rooting for him.
Yeah, definitely.
I wanted to see Chris Paul win one before he retired. Giannis, all the rest of them, they got some years still.
They got time.
But
Stevie was just rooting for that 207.5 or whatever it was.
Yeah. I needed that. At first, what came first was the 207.5. But I was ready to see the Bucks win, man, because I just felt like the Suns I just felt like shit lined up perfect for them, and I just didn't.
Yes. But that happens.
I get it. It happens, but it happened for the Raptors. The hype was saying that wasn't the case, and that's where I had an issue. I was like, people were talking like they played every team healthy, and they were just that good. And I was on there talking about
whatever can get that click.
Calvin was talking about Chris. He can make a strong case.
They won't believe anything they say. But they don't give a damn as long as they get that click.
As long as they get a click. They'll go out there and look like an idiot for entertainment. I can't do that.
Max Kellerman was saying that earlier.
Kellerman.
With the healthy AD, the Lakers was
I like Kellerman.
100%.
I like Kellerman on boxing, but some of the other stuff he needs to stay away from.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Just leave it at boxing because, God. I will mention this. A lot of respect for Monty Williams. I'm sure you guys seen the press conference, and he was in tears, and you could tell how bad they really wanted it. And then to see him have balls enough to go into the Bucks locker room when they got the goggles, confetti, champagne, everything taped up, and to go in there and show his respects and congratulate them on a win, as hard as that must have been, it takes a lot to do that. It just kind of shows the character of that guy. And I got nothing but positive words to say for Phoenix. It's like I wanted them to win the series when it first started. Before a game was played, I'm like, I want Phoenix to win. But as the series played out, the Bucks deserved it. They played better. They wanted it more. They played harder. It was the right team won last night. The right team won.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that. Yeah, just kind of couldn't deny it. I mean, what Giannis was doing with Middleton, with Holiday.
They were going crazy.
The whole team, they were all
games,
locked in.
bro.
The whole team was locked in.
Giannis was playing bro, that dude was going crazy, man.
That's one of the most dominant performances I've ever seen. I'm 40 years old, and I've been watching sports since I was fucking probably 5 years old.
Yeah,
that looked
that was dominant.
That looked like a mid-season game.
Like you said earlier, on the offensive and defensive side.
Yeah, it was
every
crazy.
second he was on the floor, it was 110. Like it was never a lax. It was never, he wasn't like, didn't lose his focus. It was every second he was on the floor. So I thought that was just awesome, man. I thought that was awesome. And I thought, though it wasn't the finals, I would say I wanted to see or anything like that. I enjoyed watching it. I enjoyed the difference of fan bases and the fact that you could be happy for either team winning. It was something different. And I think Paul Pierce talked about it. And he's like, I think this is the end of dynasties. And I agree. Like, I don't think we'll see teams win, 3 out of 5. Like, I think the Warriors is probably the last time we'll see some shit like that, because all these players have been playing since they were like 12, 13 years old, hundreds of games in the summer. Every year, someone's going to blow their ACL, tear their Achilles. Like, you're going to see that now every year. And then players are moving around so much. Like, if we won't see, like, the Bucks, there's no way you're going to tell me they're going to be the favorites next year. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still think Philly probably beats them healthy. Brooklyn probably beats them healthy. And shit, if Trae Young doesn't get hurt, who knows if the Hawks don't beat him? So it's already so much parity in the NBA going into next year, and nobody's made a roster move yet. Right. If you kept the same teams and run it back, I guarantee neither of those teams make the finals.
And Hawks are one, maybe 2 guys away from really, really competing.
A thought I had last night. I think the Bucks kind of resemble the early Spurs back in the Tim Duncan days. And nobody thought the Spurs was going to be able to build a dynasty, but they were able to get Duncan, get their core, and get that people around them. The Bucks have that chance if they can stay healthy and if they can keep the players where they want to stay there and not leave. I think they can turn into something kind of like the Spurs.
Who they have that was out for the season?
Dante. I was gonna say that.
That's still another.
And that's a big piece for them,
right?
If we're being honest. Like, he plays like pretty much backup point guard. He would have took a lot of minutes away from Connaughton. He would have took minutes from PJ Tucker. Yep. He would have took minutes from, a lot of those guys. So it's so much. I think this summer, going out of the NBA, is going to be the most important summer we've seen in a very long time. You got both the Clippers guys who can opt out, which they probably won't. So you wonder if the Clippers might trade one. You got John Collins, who's going to be able to walk. You got a lot of guys, a lot of coaching changes right now in the NBA, a lot of guys potentially on the move. And this is the end of let's be honest. We got how many more years of LeBron? How many more years of Chris Paul? How many more years of AD if he can't stay healthy? Right. Like, there's a lot that's changing right now, right before our eyes. And we saw it in the playoffs. Look who made it. Young guys, Devin Booker, Paul George and his crew. You got on the East, Trae Young, Giannis. It's a young man's league now. A lot of these young guys, the Knicks, they don't have a veteran leadership except for Derrick Rose. They got him halfway through the year. So
I think they're going to have Lillard next year.
You think
very possible. Very possible.
The Knicks are getting Lillard?
I think if he's smart, he goes to Philly. I think he goes and plays with Embiid. But sleeper team, if Miami can get him and keep Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, that's a scary fucking team right there. You give up Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero,
Oladipo.
Oladipo and a couple picks, and you can get Dame, and you can pair him with Jimmy Butler and say, hey, Dame, you never have to guard a freaking top offensive player again. You got Iguodala on the wing playing solid defense still. Bam's coming into his own. You can run the pick and roll with Bam and Dame. I like him in Miami too. That would probably be like my second fit for him. That would I want to see him as a fan. I'd want to see him in Philly or Miami. Get him out east. Get him out east, man.
Yeah, he need to go out east.
Yeah, because they don't appreciate him out in the West.
Come over here to Indiana. We'll take him.
Oh, man. Come to Indiana. We going crazy.
We'll take him.
We get Dame.
We'll give you Miles Turner.
What you want, man?
LeVert. What you want?
It's an open motherfucking A.
Man, we'll trade anybody,
Anybody for Dame. We'll play with the B team for Dame. Shit.
Man, Dame's special.
Brogdon, like 3 first-round picks.
Put Dame on that shit. We'll play with that.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. Now that the season is over, I'm just excited for everything moving forward next year, man.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be big moves, I think, in this offseason. The Lakers
Is
gonna
Giannis the
get
best player in
Lonzo
the
back.
NBA? Please.
What's that?
I hope so.
Lakers get Lonzo.
I hope so.
I wouldn't mind getting Lonzo. Yeah, Lonzo wouldn't be a bad pickup for the Lakers.
We need him. He's exactly what we need. He's not going to command the ball offensively. He takes the pressure off LeBron as far as playmaking. He plays very good defense, and he's starting to find his shot. So I think he would fit great. And then I wouldn't mind picking up LiAngelo. I think LiAngelo gets the bad rap from the China thing and from LeVar, and then people just kind of want to spite LeVar and not give him a chance. But that motherfucker can shoot the ball really well.
Oh, yeah.
And to be like a cheap roster spot for a team like us who doesn't have the cap, and I think it won't do anything but make Lonzo play better having his brother on his team and vice versa. And anything you can get out of him is better than what we were getting from Jared Dudley on the bench, better than we're getting from Kostas Antetokounmpo. So I hope we go get Lonzo and go get LiAngelo, to be honest. I would love to see that in LA because I think that guy can hoop.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Jello can hoop, man. And I think
he can shoot like a motherfucker, man.
We was just talking about that the other day. It's like, for him not to be in the league is kind of messed up. You know, like, there's guys in the league right now that he is way better than.
I mean, you guys got the Holiday brothers, right?
Right.
No knock on the Holiday brothers at all. But you're telling me LiAngelo Ball can't be as good as Justin or Drew Holiday? Tell me he can't score 7 points in 20-some minutes? Like, come on, man. Like,
and you just mentioned the other one.
Yeah, I would understand if Lonzo and LaMelo were straight trash. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they were out and they were terrible, even when Lonzo was kind of up in the air, and then, you know, LaMelo came in and his rookie of the year deserved it, and now you got Lonzo looking like a starter in the NBA, like he really always looked like a starter, but really solidifying that. You can't tell me you don't look at LiAngelo Ball and say, I wonder what this kid can do.
Right, exactly.
It just doesn't make sense, but, you know, that's politics.
And every team that he's played on, even with his brothers, he was the leading scorer of that team.
He shoots the skin off the ball.
He can get to the bucket, bro. He big, he thick, so he can definitely use his body, and he can shoot the fuck out of the ball.
His form is good too. His form is so pretty.
Fuck out of the ball.
I was pissed off Detroit signed him and didn't even play him. They put a freaking billboard up when they signed him, like, to that 10-day contract or whatever, the preseason contract. They didn't even let him play not 1 second. It's like
they're trying to sell some tickets.
Yeah, man. Nobody gonna watch Detroit basketball. I don't care if you have LeBron. Like, motherfuckers so damn sorry.
I know.
But that's how it goes, man. So it'd be nice to see him in the league. It'd be nice. It'd be really nice.
He was spotted in the Hornets locker room wearing training gear.
I see that.
I did see that.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna pick him up. It's got to happen, bro. He can't, unless he just put dog shit off him. Like, somebody's gonna pick him up.
I wonder what he looked like. Like, he must look bad in the gym or something. Like,
that's what I'm thinking. He's got to look terrible.
Yeah.
But then I haven't heard that. Like, I've heard he's had good workouts.
I don't know. It seems like he'd get a shot.
Is there something with his personality or something? Or
should have never stole them damn sunglasses. Right. That's really what it is, if we're being honest. Your dad already talked so much shit. You stole them glasses.
You would think there'd have to be more than that, though.
You would think, right? I think it's his dad. I think people
it is too. Just
they don't want to deal with the circus that comes with his dad.
They just don't want him to be right. They don't want someone, because, to be honest, he challenged everything about the way we view ball. He challenged everything from the AAU to going to college to shoe deals. To all of that. He challenged everything about the system. So for him to have all three of his sons in the NBA, exactly like he said, there's no way they want that to happen. Because it's gonna breed more, you know, dad managers and more people doing this type of stuff, and it'll take over the league having control, and it'll be the control from the fans and the people and the players, and they don't want that at all.
Well, because, I mean, you see now they done changed the rule in the NCAA now, so, I mean, and you got
Alabama's quarterback.
How big of a part did that have to play with his league, and how many kids did he take that would have went to college, and they went a different route, and now they're playing professionally somewhere.
You hit it on the head. Nobody talks about it. LeVar Ball single-handedly changed the NCAA.
I
Like,
think
he
you don't get enough
single-handedly.
credit for it. Yep.
Yeah, because as for years we've been saying pay the players. They took NCAA off the damn shelves because they don't want to pay the players. So it's been a big thing. And he just said, well, I'll start my own league. And if you want to pay, I'll pay you. And we'll do it this way. And he gave guys the idea to where the NBA said, well, players are going to go join there. And then we won't have control over them. So we'll let the G League. And once the NBA changed the G League to be more affordable for high school players to go, and you saw what, one or two did it last year. Was it Mitchell Robinson, or one of them was like one of the first to do it? And then this year it's happening again.
And
it's
now
over.
There's more. When 1 or 2 turns into 4 or 5, next year be 10.
Well, now it's gonna be everybody because they changed the rules,
right.
so it's gonna be everybody now.
Yep. And then I think Nick Saban said it today or yesterday. His quarterback hasn't played a single down, and he's made $1 million already.
Right.
It makes if I'm a coach, I'm pissed. No wonder Dabo was against it, because it's gonna be hard to yell and talk shit to a millionaire.
Not just that. What I've said, it's gonna hurt the big programs because these coaches aren't like Saban in Alabama. He's not gonna be able to convince these 5-star players to come sit for 3 years like he does now. Nope. But they can go somewhere else and be a star and make all kinds of money. So it's going to hurt recruiting for the bigger colleges.
It's going to spread the wealth. It's going to spread the wealth so much. And then you got to think about it. If I let's say I have a 4-year-old son, right? And I train with him every day. I got him doing all kind of stuff just because to keep him active. He loves sports. And I'm thinking, let's say if I get a chance to send you to Alabama and you can start, you can start at Alabama, or you can start at Cal, UCLA, somewhere where we live. You're already well known in this area because you've played high school sports here. So you're a legend in this area. When we had Aaron Gordon playing high school ball around here, like everyone knew his name. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, shit, you tell your kid, why go all the way to Alabama when you have the following here? Man, you stay here, you go to Cal, you sign autographs every weekend, you go pop up at high schools and do events for $1,000 or whatever. You'll be rich before you even touch the league. Now you can say, hey, do I really want to play? Or do I want to be a businessman? Or you can make a better decision. You don't have to go to Alabama, kiss Nick Saban's ass for 2.5 years, play for 1.5 years, then go to the NFL, when you could just stay home and make money.
Exactly.
Live with your parents.
I think it's going to hurt the big. It's going to hurt the top programs. I think.
Yeah, we saw it in in basketball. We've seen it with the one and done. Mm-hmm. These players don't care about going to the number one school. Think about where the number one pick came out of, like the last couple of years. DeAndre Ayton came out of Arizona, which is a big school, but it's not Duke. It's not Kentucky, a big basketball school. It's not Kansas. Yeah. You have Cade Cunningham probably going number one this year. He's from fucking Oklahoma State. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, Trae Young went to Oklahoma. All these guys are going to different schools now. Ben Simmons number one out of LSU. Because I only have to go there for 1 year. Why go play for Coach K? That's why you see Coach K retire. You see Roy Williams retire, because the allure of playing for this big coach for 6 months, it doesn't do it for me anymore. I come here, I get treated like a regular citizen for 6 months. I bust my ass. I get zero out of it except for the exposure I was going to get on my own anyway. Why move all the way across the country and get yelled at when this coach right here is going to kiss the ground I walk on? I'm going to play the whole freaking game, shoot every shot I want to, and I'm still going to be drafted number one. So I love it. I love the player empowerment movement. I'm sick of everybody dictating sports. Let the players choose. If you want to be on a super team and that's how you want your legacy to be, so be it. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean you're guaranteed to win, but I love it, man. I love it so much.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I said. You're going to see a lot of them more that's going to be, why do I want to come and be a little fish in a big pond when I can be the big fish, in a smaller pond?
Yeah, absolutely right. And we talked about last time, we talked a little bit about like the UFC paying, and it's just a matter of time for them to be next.
Yep.
Dana's not, I had an argument with a guy today at work about Dana White. And I'm like, I love the UFC and all, it's all good and dandy, but Dana White's just an asshole. Like, there's no way.
Sure is. Yes.
And it's like, I'm not even saying that as his personality is bad or anything like that, but the fact that he knowingly is charging $100 for a pay-per-view, Chris Mutino goes and puts his life on the line. It's not like these other sports. He's literally putting his life on the line. And he 15,000? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? You made 15,000 in the first 30 seconds of that fight, and you are only gonna pay. You know, it's just ridiculous, and I just feel like come on, man. Like, you don't have to be an asshole, bro. You don't have to be an asshole.
Yeah,
You got more money than you ever need.
I have a couple videos on YouTube where I'm ranting about that, and I brought up Matino because they say, oh, he made 15,000, but that's before you pay taxes, your team, your coaches, team, whatever expenses you had. You know what I mean? He probably would have walked home with what? Maybe $8,000 out of that 15,000 if he was lucky.
Man, if he was lucky.
But he got lucky. He got lucky, and they got the fight of the night, and he got a 75,000 bonus. But he took 200 punches to the skull.
For him to get that, he had to walk forward with his hands low and eat punches all night. Yeah, like it's got to be a better way.
It got tough to watch.
Yeah, definitely. As much as I like to see a high level striking and all that stuff from Sean O'Malley, one of my favorite fighters, that was brutal. Like, it was brutal.
It was an ass whooping and a half, man.
Yeah, you kick my ass like that, we gotta shoot it out. You can't. Come on, man. Like, somebody throw a knife in the ring or something. You can't just let him just get beat up. Jump him, something.
Throw me a steel chair.
Yeah, come on, jump off the top rope, sledgehammer, Triple H,
get
something.
The tables.
Man,
O'Malley gonna get
I'm like,
fight. When O'Malley gonna get a title?
He's gonna get one soon.
I want to see him fight for the title.
He overdue.
I think he's probably. What do you think? Maybe one more fight, then they'll give it to him.
I want to see him.
I mean, the next one.
It should be.
Dana's giving him some easy fights. To be fair, they're definitely prepping O'Malley to be the next big name. I think because O'Malley does go for the knockouts every time he fights. He will fight a lot of times in the year. So I think he's just Dana's trying to make sure he doesn't lose on the way up. People forget Dana's controlling this. So you're not going to see the fights you want to see when you want to see them all the time. He's got to build these guys up. So I think O'Malley, you probably see him get a big fight before he gets the title fight. He'll fight one of those top 3, top 4 guys, and if he beats him, he'll get the title shot.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready to see him just fight some real competition.
Speaking of brutality, you ever watch the bare knuckle fighting?
I've seen a little bit after the Ocho Cinco and Brian Maxwell, I believe his name was, and I was like, okay, I've seen it before. Now I'm interested because I know a guy in it. And then Paige Van Zandt, she had that close defeat, and so I've been seeing a little bit about it. I like it. It's brutal, but I like it.
Yeah, I love it, man. The last pay-per-view they had, we went live for it, and we're gonna go live again this Friday for that pay-per-view. Man, it's brutal, but if you like combat sports, it's fun to watch.
You got to be a tough son of a, you know what I'm saying?
And it's such a different style of boxing because, I mean, you can't just put your hands up and block because them little fists are a lot smaller than them big-ass gloves.
Yeah. And you can't afford to get hit.
No.
Yeah, you can't take one to give one in bare knuckle like in boxing. You might take a jab and eat a jab coming forward so you can throw 2-3 hooks and back up. You eat a jab in bare knuckle, they're going to tear your lip off your face. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Seriously. So it's just different. I like all the fight sports, man. I like all this shit. Like, I never even heard of, growing up, as crazy as it may sound, I knew what Taekwondo was, like Kung Fu. We wouldn't even call it that. It was like, oh, you do karate? You see somebody in a gi with a belt, you do karate, right? Yeah. And then UFC comes, and at first, everyone's not really paying attention to what it is, but then it develops, and it turns from this brutal animal gladiator sport to this beautiful art where you see some of the most respectful people. There's no athletes like UFC athletes who respect the sport, respect the craft, and just have so much respect for what they do. It's a different level, man, and I just love it. You see all these leagues sprouting up, and you see a fight every Friday night. I don't care what league it is. You're going to see 2 men or 2 women duking it out, whether it be boxing, UFC, PFL, Bellator, bare knuckle, and I love it. I've always loved fights.
Cage Fury,
Cage Fury, all of that shit, man. It's amazing.
Hell, we watched Cage Fury 96 one night, and I said, well, fuck, I never even knew there was a Cage Fury, and they're already on 96.
Yeah. They need to start all over and act like they just came out. Cage Fury 1. Fucking redo.
The redos.
That's the move.
Do you remember when it was like the UFC was in like double digit numbers, like UFC 75? Like we're at like UFC 250 almost.
I started
It's
watching
been
it
so many.
back when you mentioned when it was brutal.
Yeah.
No rounds, no weight classes, no gloves. You just fought till somebody got knocked out or quit. It was crazy.
Who was like your favorite from then till now type thing? So like who was the guy that you first started UFC, like watching UFC or whatever, like the first guy you're like, this is my guy?
Royce Gracie.
What about you guys?
Well, Gracie also was one of mine. I remember because he was obviously one of the best at the beginning.
See,
but the guy that really got me into it, that was like, oh, I really love this sport because of this, was BJ Penn.
That's an animal.
Yeah. Early BJ Penn, yeah. I mean, it was hard to watch him there towards the end, you know?
Yeah.
When he started getting a little
They all go
old
out like that. Yeah, they all go out like that, man. You can only take so many punches, bro.
My other
Your
guy
brain can only be rattled.
Besides Gracie would be Couture.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Beast.
Randy Couture, bro.
For you, Randy Couture?
Yeah, that's probably who it is. Like when I first started watching UFC and shit, it was like Chuck Liddell, Randy Couture.
But dude,
them type of guys was when I first started getting into it. That's who I was watching.
Yeah.
Randy Couture, I fucked with him heavy because he had a cool story too. Randy Couture did.
To watch Gracie back in the day, get in there and fight fucking Tank Abbott.
Yeah.
And choke these motherfuckers out and shit, dude.
Big,
it was
big
crazy.
fat dude. Yeah. Freaking, for me, like I said, I know a lot. I don't know about you, but I know the other two that you guys wrestled in high school and stuff like that. So
yeah, he did too.
Yeah, so the combat sports was something for you guys. I didn't necessarily wrestle. I was big into boxing. So for UFC, it was like taboo for me to watch UFC first, right? As like a boxing purist, it's like, no, I'm not watching that kicking and shit. It's about the sweet science. I don't want to see it grappling. But then it's like you respect it because it's different and you respect how much goes into it. And I remember the person who changed the game for me was Chuck Liddell. He had the cool nickname, the Iceman, the way it was announced. He had hands, like crazy hands. He could do it all. It was him and Matt Hughes were like my favorites when they first started. All right, that's who got me into it. And then it just progressed to, everybody liked Rampage for a minute. And then you go through, the stages of everything. But for me, it was Chuck Liddell.
I was a Sonnen fan there for a while.
Yeah, I missed the days of the WEC.
WEC was awesome.
WEC had some good fights.
Yeah.
Old Jose Aldo, old Faber, Mike Brown,
Cruz,
Pettis.
Before funny story.
Henderson.
I shout out what was this? Was I a junior in high school? I think I was a sophomore in high school. My sophomore math teacher, Mr. Fickus. We used to call him Fick Dog. He was like a, nerdy kind of guy into video games. Not really, you never thought of him to be athlete, right? So he's talking one day. He's like, yeah, I wrestled in college. I'm like, yeah, right, Fickies. Like, you can't fight. Like, you look like you get your ass beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's laughing. He goes, yeah, Uriah Faber is my homeboy. We were roommates in college at UC Davis. And I'm like, yeah. And this is when Uriah's Uriah. You know what I'm saying? This is like 2011, 2010. And I'm like, yeah, right. Uriah fucking Faber is your roommate. And he's like, yeah, I was at his wedding. He had some weird wedding because his wife was from the Middle East. And he sounded this story. I don't believe him. This fool gets Uriah on the phone one day, are you Malik? You believe me now? And I'm like, I'm talking to Uriah Faber. Yeah, crazy shit, bro. Crazy shit. Damn. So yeah, Uriah's from around this area, which is cool. But nice. I remember watching him and always being a fan because he was from here. Like the Diaz brothers are from Stockton.
Yeah,
I'm a big Diaz brother fan
too.
Yeah, I can get there in 30 minutes. They act like us. Right. So they embody the Bay Area, this Northern California attitude. Like, fuck it, we talk shit. We put our hands down and we just chunk them. That's the MO.
And we're going to talk shit the whole time you do it. And
the whole time.
At the end, we're going to give you your respect. And then we're gonna go back to talking shit.
Yeah, that's all it is, man. Like they embody like that was us at the school grounds or in the park. Like you talking shit and you swinging, and I don't care if you were a good fighter or not. You didn't fight to look good or to really win. You fought to fight a certain way. We're swinging at each other. We standing in this circle. I'm not going to use any of these skills and techniques. I'll grab you with this hand. You grab me with your hand. We throw one arm. Boom, boom, boom. And that's just how they fight. I love the Diaz brothers, man.
And them two dudes that never switched up.
They need to stop fighting. They need to stop fighting.
They stayed the same the day that they came into UFC to now. They're the exact same. Some of them, they get a little success, goes to their heads or whatever, They switch up a persona to try to please the crowd or whatever, but they stayed the same the whole time.
Faber was never the same after he took that elbow from Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In WEC.
It changed the way he thought. It's all mental.
Yeah, he didn't have the same confidence and swagger about him anymore.
He had never been beat like that.
It's weird how you can see it, right? Like sometimes you never know what's going on with players and things like that. But like with Anderson Silva, when he broke his leg, it was it. Like he never recovered mentally from that. You see it with players in like football. You see it in the NBA where some guys like Kevin Durant, he came back and he's still Kevin Durant, no problem at all. And you see some guys that come back and their game is totally different. I thought, exactly. And I think fight sports, you see it a lot more because to step in the ring and fight, you have a different level of confidence. Even wrestling, to get on the mat with somebody and to understand that you can really die. Like something can go just a little wrong. And next thing you know, you land on your fucking neck wrong. You never walking again. Like the chances of that happening really in like a fight sport is way greater than football and basketball and other shit like that. If you're not focused, if you take a second off, if you lose, get distracted, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot that goes into that, man. It's a lot that goes into the mind. That's why I love the sport right there. The mentality you have to do that for 10 to 15 years. Your ears are fucking cauliflower. Your nose is different shape. Your speech is fucked up. Your fingers are all crooked forever. Like you're never fixing that again. And they still go out there and do it.
Yeah, we can attest to all that.
Yeah.
During wrestling, we've had some of them same stuff.
So you guys ever went to like the nationals or whatever? I think they do it in like Idaho, the wrestling nationals or something like that.
They do it in different
We've
places.
traveled in
all the time.
We went
to
national tournaments a lot.
My high school, we had some good wrestling. Like we were known for pretty much football and wrestling. I went to Vacaville High School and we had some guys who were, legit, and they would go and win nationals or come in third in the nation and go to college for it and stuff. And I'll just never forget, like, the wrestling room was sacred to the point where, like, the coach was able to do whatever the fuck he wanted to them kids in there. Like, he punching kids. Like, I've heard stories like, the wrestling coach was punching the shit out of us. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, what?
I've had that happen before.
Yeah, because we're like the basketball and football players. Like, I wish the fucking coach would punch me. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then they're like, yeah, our coach punches us and we let him because we're fucking scared of him, And I remember one day we were being funny, like, yeah, I want to go like look at wrestling practice. And I remember walking in that goddamn wrestling room and be able to move the sweat and fucking fog with my hands. I said, this shit ain't for me. It's not for me. It's different.
It is. It's total different mentality.
Different. I can't practice that way. You know what I mean? Like, you can't play fight. Like,
you have to embrace the grind.
Right. Yes.
To be good at top level at that sport, you have to embrace the grind.
Because the biggest difference really is, there's a team concept of it also, but it's one-on-one. You have nobody to blame, to lean on. If you're tired, if you win or lose, it's all on you.
Yep.
That's the main big difference about your mindset going into it. Because, basketball, baseball, football, it's a team sport. You're just one part of a machine,
Yeah,
exactly. You are the machine.
Yeah, because shit, the best part about team sports is the worst part about team sports. It's not on me. It's not all on me. Yep. Like, if we win or lose, I can have the best game of my life and it can mean absolutely fucking nothing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? If you have the best night of your life wrestling, you're gonna win. You know what I mean? Like, for the most part, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like fight sports and like track and field is one of the other ones.
Yep.
Motherfucker, I'm faster than you or you're faster than me. Ain't no debating. Ain't no this, that, and the third. I outran you. I outworked you. Same with wrestling. I out wrestled you. I slammed you a bunch more times. Whatever it is you have to do, it is what it is. And I like that about sports. I hate when the judges fuck it up in UFC. But for the most part, we see the person who's supposed to win, you know?
They need to change the scoring.
Yeah.
Could try and do
Definitely.
boxing rules.
It's not the same.
No.
I think Joe Rogan talked about it too. They need to give more credit to the later rounds because I think that matters too. And I think it more or less matters how you finish rounds than how you start them. Because if we talking about a fight, you could punch me 10 times in the face and rock me. But if I get you on the ground, there ain't no round stopping it. If we had a bar and you tag me 5 times and you stumble me and I get on top of you and start choking you, there ain't nobody going to ring no bell and break us up. Like, I'm going to win the fight. Right. So I think you got to give people credit for that. We see a lot of fights where guy might be winning, but a guy just dominates you on the ground. We saw it with Gilbert Burns. He didn't let Steven Wonderboy up. And I love Wonderboy. He didn't let him up. Wonderboy could do nothing about it. He was just stronger than him. He just imposed his will on another man for 9 minutes. It was incredible to watch. And people think it's a boring fight because they're wrestlers. I'm like, nah, man. You can't get another man off of you. That's demoralizing. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's not easy to hold another man down.
That is also one of the most prideful things, but also one of the most, like you said, demoralizing things whenever you physically dominate another human being, just you and him one-on-one. But when you get dominated, you know, I mean, you're on the biggest high, you're on the biggest natural high of your life, but then you could be on the biggest low of your life.
And you're going to get yours. Everybody gets theirs. You're going to get You're going to give out yours, but you're going to take yours too.
Everybody's going to take a couple of them in their lifetime, you know.
And that's in every sport. I remember the first time I ever got ear hold in football. That shit changed my life. Yep. Like, you running down on kickoff, not a care in the fucking world. And next thing you know, the ground is upside down and you fucking see it everything different. Every dog has their day for sure. For sure.
Speaking of the UFC judges, I think they should have Joe Rogan and like Daniel Cormier and another like ex-fighter be the judges of the fight. Because ex-MMA fighters, they know how to score the fights. You know what I mean? And Joe Rogan, I think, would be awesome as a judge.
I don't understand why they can't commentate and judge.
Yeah.
They're watching the fight anyway. They're giving us their unofficial scorecard anyway.
And I think Felder and Cormier and Rogan would be awesome at it.
Yep. And what's the other guy's name? I don't know his name. He's not a fighter. He kind of looks like Coachman, Jonathan Coachman. Yeah, Anik. I like him too.
Yeah, and him.
So I agree. Now that's a good idea right there. You're already watching the damn fight anyway, because now you have the thing with fight sports and what people don't understand is boxing is way more convoluted. To break that shit down, you need more time because you got different promotions. There is no league. There is no unity. It's everybody's got their hand in it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? There's 100 million belts that mean nothing. With the UFC, at least you got one league and you can understand how it's going, but you play and everybody has a different commission. So judges in the Vegas commission, they're going to judge fights different than the Florida. So when you saw the bubble and everything going on in the bubble wasn't in Vegas. I believe the bubble was before, wasn't it in like Abu Dhabi or something like that? Or wherever it was. So it's a different commission over that. We saw fights be judged way different than we've ever seen them. You know, or you see the difference when they have a fight in Jacksonville, Florida, and they have a fight over here in Vegas, how different they call these fights. So there needs to be one unified way to do this so that we can all point back to it and say, okay, based on this, he won. Because it's so confusing where you can have 10 guys watch a fight, they score 10 different ways and have 10 legit reasons why. Right. It just makes no sense.
When Diaz lost to Masvidal, when they stopped that fight, if that fight would have been in Vegas, that fight wouldn't have got stopped.
No, I agree. Who do you think is who's fighting right now that you think is still has enough in the tank to become a title. So you got the Diaz's. Masvidal's never got the title. Derek Lewis is getting up there, and he hasn't got the title yet. There's a lot of guys who are just right there, and I'm like, we just had Chris Paul lose the finals, right? We're gonna have these guys never touch a title. As much as Masvidal has been to the sport, knocking out Kimbo, fighting for years, for him to never touch gold would suck.
I think Poirier might be the next one.
Yeah,
Poirier.
I think he has a chance against Oliveira.
Yes, Oliveira's long though.
Yeah,
I like Oliveira.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good fight, but I think he has a chance.
Yes, I agree.
This might be his last. This might be his only chance he has.
Very true. What about what's his name? Cyril Gagne and Derek Lewis getting that interim title fight? I don't like that at all. Dana being an asshole again. I don't understand the logic that he has behind the shit he does.
You're giving these guys a belt that means nothing, that they're going to lose soon as they fight, and not being disrespectful for them guys, because I like watching Lewis fight.
Hell yeah.
He's just not at the level of Ngannou.
No, and he's a fan favorite too. Like, yeah. I love, win or lose, I'm tuning in because I want to see what he's gonna say after. Like, it's fucking hilarious.
He's gonna take off his shorts.
Yeah. My balls is hot. Like, that's the most legendary shit ever. That's the first Derek Lewis fight I ever seen, to be honest. And I'm like, this motherfucker just say his balls is hot. Like, he won me over. Like, immediately.
What he's gonna do if he wins this interim title, he's gonna go fucking nuts.
Yeah. And I'm like, damn, Ngannou ain't even had the title for 6 months. You're already trying to give somebody an interim for what? You let Stipe not fight for what, 2.5 years, almost 3.
Yeah, that didn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't know what Dana's doing, but I'm glad to have a chance to talk with people who understand UFC because there's so many questions. I love to bounce off people with all the shit that goes on in the UFC. Like, there's so much drama. There's so much what ifs and crazy shit that happens. So it's just interesting. It's always interesting.
We watch about every one of them.
Yeah. They're impossible to miss.
Fucking one.
They're impossible to miss.
1 or 2 the last couple.
How do you feel on everybody was talking about after that Conor McGregor rant and stuff, he's hurt, he's angry, he's pissed off. Joe Rogan's right in his face with the microphone. What do you think about that? Everybody's saying, oh, well, stop interviewing them right after, they had just had some traumatic injury.
I loved it. I personally loved it. I mean, I take it with a grain of salt. I think it's hard because these players just play or fight or whatever it is, and first thing you do is shove a microphone in their face. Adrenaline is so high. I think you have the people who've played sports understand it. Mm-hmm. So like us, we get that they're gonna say some shit. It ain't gonna make sense all the time. Emotions gonna be high, but the media loves to pick it apart. But that's when you want to talk to them. Like, Conor just fucking snapped his leg in a fight where he thought he was gonna win against a guy he really doesn't like. It's obvious he doesn't like this guy.
Right.
So, I mean, if you want them to fight again and you want to make money, your best bet is to put the camera in his face. You should have mic'd him up during the damn fight. Because that's the only way people are going to buy that shit again. And I mean, Conor in front of a mic is never going to be bad for business. There's nothing he can do to lose the UFC money. I mean, he told him, your wife's in my DM. Hi, baby. That was the funniest shit ever.
Your girl in my DM.
I think it goes. I think it can be both ways. It's entertaining for some of them, but some of them that just get so beat and battered. Hell, they don't even know half of what they're saying. They're just up there. Some of them guys, maybe not interview those ones.
Yeah, agreed.
Interview a coach or something.
Dude, I loved it when Khabib jumped out of the cage. It would after Conor's team. I loved it.
Me too. And you know what? Rightfully so, because Conor took that shit too far, and he got his ass whooped. I didn't like that they jumped him in the ring, but it was like, this is a life lesson that should be broadcast on national TV. That's something I want my kids to watch. This is why you don't fuck with people. This is why you don't go out here.
Don't fuck with people about their family.
Yeah, you don't talk about people's religion, about their families, certain shit you leave alone.
Especially the Russian dudes like that, dude. Dude,
Where's it from?
About that shit.
Dagestan. I'll never go to.
whatever. Yeah.
I'll never go to Dagestan. That shit don't even sound fun.
That place.
Now
Fun ain't even a
Never-
word. There.
Hey, what's that?
What?
Dude, that Makachev?
Yeah,
He's,
Makachev.
he's like a fucking Khabib clone.
They all are. Them motherfuckers
They
don't
all
smile. They don't talk.
And
They
his
don't
beat
say
the brakes
anything.
off of you.
They remind me of what's the name from Rocky? I will kill you. They all act like the Russian.
Ivan Drago.
Yeah, they all act like Drago, man. They all the same.
Where you think
I feel like they're
live?
gonna kill somebody every time they get in the damn ring.
All right, let's break you.
Yeah, I must break you.
For real.
Yeah,
Right,
I
man.
will break you. Yeah, that guy.
That's Khabib.
Yeah, for sure. I hate he's not fighting anymore
Yeah.
because God, there was nothing you could do. Every time you think he's like someone has a chance, the way he beat them was so like dominating. Like it never was close. Like he beat the shit out of people. Justin Gaethje looked probably the most amazing he ever looked in his whole entire life against Conor, and he looked like a scrub off the street against Khabib.
And I thought Gaethje had a chance to make it an interesting fight.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a better fight.
Nope.
I will say Conor has an uncanny ability to convince me that he has a chance, even though I think he doesn't. Like when he fought Khabib, I'm like, he ain't gonna fucking be close to beating Khabib. But the more he talked, I'm like, you know what? He might have a chance. Yeah,
And with
or at
him,
least
all
it'll
it
be a
takes is
good
one
fight.
punch, you know?
Yeah,
He can end it with
bro.
one punch at any given moment, you know?
That man is special.
That's why it's like, I mean, I'm not a huge Conor fan, but you got to respect him. Like,
Yeah, hell
for,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the perfect heel, really, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you can't say enough what he's done for that sport. Like Dana owes him his life, really, if we're being honest, because UFC was close to not being able to make it a couple times. And Conor was the star they needed when they needed it, because everyone else, you had John Jones getting in trouble for shit he should have probably never even gotten fucking trouble for. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
They were still kind of clinging on to big past names. They were at the end of their career, you know?
and they're getting knocked out by no names and shit like that at this point. And Conor came in, double champ. He changed his hair, had the crazy hair. He talked big shit. It knocked out Aldo, and that's what changed everything right there. Him knocking out Aldo.
And Aldo's never been the same.
Nope.
Never, ever, ever.
He was such a dominant person, like, up until then, like, and then that one punch.
He bought into the hype.
Yeah,
Aldo
that one
bought into the
punch.
hype. He was.
Yeah,
I think
he
it's-
was
yeah,
in his
he-
head straight off
Yeah.
the
He was in
gate,
his head,
straight
bro.
out the gate.
Conor got
and
him
all
his
those-
fucking-
Aldo's never forgiven himself. That's why we say, like you said, he's never been the same, Chris. He's never forgiven himself for letting somebody let another man control the way you think, the way you move. You'll never forgive yourself for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's wrestling matches that still haunt me to this day.
He's
Yeah.
probably spent
Yeah.
sleepless nights rewatching that video over
For
and over
real,
and over.
bro.
Like, what could I have done differently? You know?
Yep. And you know who Aldo reminded me of, kind of, maybe not the different fight styles, but as dominant as they were, is like Amanda Nunes. Like if Amanda Nunes ever got knocked out, it would be as shocking as it was that Aldo was knocked out by Conor.
Yeah.
Like not a lot of people had Conor winning or even having a chance against Aldo, even after all the shit talking that took place. And for him to knock him out and how that sent shockwaves, kind of how the Ronda Rousey thing was.
Exactly. That's what I was
If
about to say. Yep.
Yeah, if Nunes ever loses, which I don't think she will, if she ever
I
loses,
think
that'll
she'll
be
some
like
of the men.
Yeah, absolutely. And they don't even talk about her as the best women's athlete. Like, no disrespect to Serena or like the Simone Biles or whatever, but her body is always 110%. She's never lost. She dominates like no other. Like, she should be respected and talked about as the greatest woman athlete of all time. I truly believe that.
Yeah. She don't
If
get.
not, then she's definitely needs to be mentioned
Number
in
two,
that conversation.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She's dude, she's scary.
Especially now, because before it was like, all right, she's had a few really impressive fights, you know, but now it's starting to get into longevity. You know, she's starting to build like a legacy now, and where now you can't deny it. You could have maybe have said back, oh, she's only had so many fights. Same thing happened to Rousey. Let's not get too excited. But now she's doing it
years
consistently, years now. Right?
Did she beat a couple people twice?
Probably.
I'm like thinking
exactly.
like
I'm not
she's
sure.
she's either beating some people twice or they're like, I don't even want to fight her again. What's the point? Like
That's
if you're
like
Holly Holm or something, it's like, why fucking go in there and get my head knocked around again?
When she fought that Megan Anderson girl, I thought she was actually gonna, do a little bit of something because what is she 6'6'1"?
Yeah.
She had a lot of length on her. She's not a bad fighter. You
Nope.
know, she's got some strength to her. She can kind of wrestle a little bit. I thought she was going to be the one that kind of challenged Nunez, and then we see how that turned out.
That was bad.
Blinking, the fight was over. Like
Cyborg, Durandame, or whatever her name is. All these fighters, you're like, okay, this is a good fight. And she starches them like early and quick. Her wife gets beat up, and her wife fought, I think like 2 or 3 cards ago, like a fight night. And I'm watching the wife lose. I'm like, you beating up Amanda Nunez's wife? Like, I would get the fuck off her. You know what I mean? Like, you let her win.
Watch your back.
Your next fight's going to be against Amanda.
And she's in the corner too. Like, she was in the corner, like you could see like the anger in her eyes, like she's watching her wife lose. I'm like, holy shit, she about to jump in. It's crazy.
That'd be some shit.
She caught her in the parking lot. After.
2 fights in 1.
I got a good one for you guys right here. If you could choose any fight, whether it happened or not, we talking boxing, UFC, whatever the fuck it is, what would you want to see? If you could pick one fight, 2 fighters in their prime, what would you want to see? One ticket, cage side, ring side, what would it be? Because I know mine, no doubt in my mind, I know mine. I want to see Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
I want to see it. I want to see you rope-a-dope to these uppercuts and hooks from Mike Tyson. I want to see you get caught with some of those. And I want to see George Foreman and Deontay Wilder, 2 big guys who stand in front of you and punch. Like, oh my God, there's so many dream fights that we'll never, ever, ever see we should get to see.
I mean, because you got St. Pierre against McGregor, both prime.
George
right
Foreman
there.
and
BJ Penn against McGregor.
Foreman against Tyson Fury would be good to see too.
Ooh, that's a very good fight. That's a very good. Tyson Fury against Lennox Lewis.
Yes,
that'd be a very good fight. Yeah, like I just always watch them and I always think like, man, we got Mayweather Pacquiao so late. We get a lot of good fights, when they're past their prime
Cesar
and
Chavez
things like that.
Senior against a prime, Floyd Mayweather.
Shit like that. Or if Gotti was prime Gotti, even though he still wasn't too far off his prime, he got his ass whooped by Mayweather.
Fury and damn it, lost the other guy's
like
name
a Sugar Ray Leonard against
Holyfield. Fury against Holyfield, but the boxer at Holyfield was
very well rounded too. Very well rounded. We see a lot of stuff. We see a lot of good fighters, but it's like we can never get them at the same time. We never get them all at the same time.
Pacquiao and Mayweather.
UFC is probably the closest where you can get like a lot of prime matchups because Dana does navigate the fight, so we do get to see a lot of them in the UFC. But there's so many we don't get to see. Like Robbie Lawler, when he was Robbie Lawler, a lot of guys would never want to fight him. And I want to see some of those guys who never took a punch or fought a guy like him have to fight Robbie in his prime. He'd expose so many people.
I was just rewatching that Robbie Lawler versus Nick Diaz WEC fight the other day. That was a hell of a fight.
Classic.
Lawler and McDonald, dude.
Yeah.
They beat the hell out of each other.
Not to use recency bias, but what's some of the knockouts that, like, when you think of UFC knockouts, what comes to your mind?
That Holly Holm kicking Ronda Rousey in the head.
That's one. Chet Congo when he almost fucking lost against was it Pat Barry? When he was like damn near knocked out and he freaking got up and ended up winning the fight. The fight should have been stopped 20 times. There's the one I want to say was this year. when the dude freaking knocked him out off his back.
Yeah, with the
Like, he
hammer
was-
fist.
Bro.
Yeah, I was about to say that on
Bro.
Kevin Holland.
Yeah. That
I'm
dude,
like, I've never seen somebody freaking get knocked out from the back.
he
Bro.
was straight on his back,
I'll
like
tell
curled
you-
up, smacked him with 3 hammer fists right in the face.
Night,
Dude
night.
was gone.
You ever seen Derek Elkins fight? Or Darren Elkins, I mean? He fights in the UFC.
The name is ringing a bell. I got to see his face.
He's on the card this well. He's on the prelims on this card on Saturday, but he's from Indiana.
Oh yeah. I think we talked about him before last time.
That dude will take. I mean, he'll be getting his ass beat, and then he'll get a hold of him in the 3rd round and finish him.
Finish him. That's all that good grappling, man. That grappling take you a long way. I mean, when Francis knocked out Rosenstrike, that was nasty. Because Rosenstrike had just split ovarian lip disgustingly. For him to get knocked out like that was nasty. And how he did Stipe, I mean, it didn't look like it had no form to it. It didn't even look like he hit him hard. And he just clipped him, and it was good night. Stipe looked, and he was on Mars or something. You know what I mean?
Who was that guy that we watched not too long ago? He got hit, and he looked like he was all right.
Dancing.
Then he staggered, took a couple steps, boom,
And then fell.
Almost looked like Ric Flair.
Yeah, that was like was that like 2 cards ago?
I think so.
Was that the
think so.
McGregor card?
It might have been. You remember
I want to
what
say it
I'm
was like a
talking about?
prelim on the
What you're talking
McGregor.
about.
Yeah, he got hit and he like stayed, and then next thing you know, his equilibrium like fell off later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looked like Ric Flair walking around and falling.
He knocked the glitch into him. He glitched in real life. Like,
Hey Chris, I think he was following your steps and he got drunk before he got in the cage.
That's what he did.
Have you watched that video?
Yes.
Chris was gone.
Man, I want to see you get in there and do it again, man.
Bro, me too. I'll pay to see it.
If I was
Yeah,
I'll
man.
pay to see it.
if I was healthy and wasn't having all the health problems I have, I probably would give it a shot. I can't do it now with all the problems I have.
Hey, since we got the Colts fan here and basketball is over, what's the projection for the Colts this year? You got, Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz is gonna be MVP.
Yeah, Carson gonna make you wince, all right. Every time he throw the damn ball.
He'll be MVP. Honestly, I think it's gonna be a good fit because with the Colts, he don't have to do everything.
Yeah.
All you have to do is
That's
don't make
true.
mistakes. Don't turn the fucking ball over. Hand the ball off to Taylor and Marlon Mack.
Yep. I think that's going to be his biggest
And the
asset,
defense, dude. Our
'cause
defense
he's never
is
played
nasty.
with the running game. If
No,
you look
never
at all
has.
the teams he's been on, they've had trash running games.
And I know he played bad last year, but it wasn't like Philly had a good team around
No.
him either.
Nelson
But
Aguilar is your number
everybody
one.
was
Come
hurt.
on.
I will say I'm gonna miss Carson Wentz on the Eagles because he makes our defense look competent as a Cowboys fan
Yeah,
every once in a while.
same.
So I will miss him. But even just I must say, the Eagles didn't have a good team, but goddamn, Jalen Hurts looked fucking 10 times better than him when they were on the field. And I think Carson Wentz, a lot of it was once they lost that Super Bowl, or once they won the Super Bowl with Nick Foles, his pride, like his ego, his mentality was fucked.
Yeah, he
Like,
checked out by then.
Come on, man. You got it. That's like your wife, you get deployed or something, your wife gets pregnant by somebody else and you just come back and raise the family. Like, you got to feel jaded. You know what I'm saying? You got to feel a little bit upset. That's what I saw. Like, he never felt comfortable in Philly after that. They have always loved Nick Foles more than him out there. And, he could tell. And I think he's in a whole new start. He's in a whole nother conference. He's in the AFC now. He's back with a comfortable coach. He's got the defense that's going to be able to keep him on the sideline. And when he is on the field, like you said, run the ball. You got some wide receiver options that you could rely on. He's got a chance to turn his career around.
And that was also the perfect storm for Jalen Hurts to shine.
Yes, it was.
Like,
no
here
pressure.
He coming in. He was like, he had something to prove. Here, take the reins, go do your thing. You can't make us no worse than we already are, at this point.
Absolutely.
Like, so that was perfect for him to go in there and succeed because he didn't have no pressure.
And like you said, the Eagles struggling with their run game, and Jalen Hurts being able to go get 10 to 15 yards pretty much whenever he wants to. If we're being honest, like that dude can run the ball. He's not Lamar Jackson or anything, but we talking running quarterbacks. Is he second? Like already, if we look at all the quarterbacks in the NFL, is he probably the second best rushing quarterback after Lamar Jackson?
And he's only played after about 6 games.
Yeah, he's only played like 6-7 games, and you could just tell his IQ as far as when to run and when to throw is already levels ahead. So I'm interested in both teams because I'm going to compare them. I'm definitely going to compare not just the record because I think the Colts have a better team, obviously, but just to compare how good they look with Jalen and the difference from Phillip Rivers to Carson Wentz, because I think Carson can be definitely more accurate. He won't turn the ball over as much as Phillip Rivers would. A little more accurate at Phillip Rivers being as old as he was last year. So I think it's an improvement for the Colts for sure, but it's going to be interesting to see moving forward.
Yeah.
Interesting. Because they like to play Jacoby Brissett. So if Carson Wentz doesn't play well this year.
Brисsett's gone.
Yeah, Brissett.
Oh, he left?
Yeah, he's in Miami. He's gonna take two.
Shit.
He's gonna take Tua's job.
Yeah, they should have drafted a Q. I don't like Tua.
I don't either. I never understood the hype around him. I mean, he's a good player, but he shouldn't have been hyped up like that.
Who was he throwing to when he was at Alabama?
Yeah,
Jalen Waddle, Devonta Smith,
Henry Ruggs.
Yeah. I would hope you fucking look good.
Well, yeah.
He's in the NFL. He's afraid to throw the ball.
Yeah. Did he have Derrick Henry too when he was there? For a year? I know he had Najee Harris. Like he had squad.
Yeah.
Josh, maybe Josh Jacobs. No.
Yeah, he had Jacobs for sure.
One of them Alabama running backs. I can't remember which one.
So I don't know, but because Miami's so good, man, they could fight for that division. I think the Patriots will be back, but the Bills and the Dolphins, I think, are the top two most well-built teams out of that division. And if Tua is your starting quarterback, you can go from the second best record in that division to last very fast.
I think the Patriots are going to be a lot better than people think. People forget they had like 9 guys opt out last year. They didn't play.
Yep. On important positions too, like O-line, D-line, linebackers.
And with some of the stuff they've done in free agency, they're going to be better.
I think Cam's going to be better too. I don't think Cam's career will ever be what it was. I think his arm is toasted.
He can't be no worse.
Yeah, I think his arm is toasted, but I think you get him like what? They got 2 solid tight ends. They got the running backs out the backfield. He shouldn't have to throw it more than 10 yards, and they'll just control the clock.
Well, now he's got somebody breathing down his neck too for the starting job.
Put Jones in.
So,
it's in their best interest to me to have Cam Newton play lights out for the first 5 games and ship him the fuck out of there. You got teams who might need a quarterback. Get a couple picks or something. It's in their best interest, even if it's for the whole season, which I think is very possible, for Cam to have a really good season and them to be able to potentially trade him or get rid of him and let Mac Jones learn under Belichick, because it's going to be tough for him to learn to learn Belichick and his system and things like that. I don't think it's in his best interest to get thrown out there early. And contrary to that, Justin Fields should have been named the starter when they drafted him, and I don't know what the hell they want to run out there with Andy Dalton for. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's just 2 different strategies from 2 different teams.
Yeah, I could see him doing something like that if he plays, well first half of the season before the trade deadline, ship him down to like Miami or something.
Out of the rookie quarterbacks this season, who do you think is going to have the best season?
I guess I would have to say Trevor Lawrence, because he's gonna play. I know for sure he's gonna play. I don't trust the kid from BYU.
Thank you.
I trust him. He's about to go crazy.
He thinks he's the next best thing.
Wilson gonna go crazy.
You take a guy from BYU, Mormon kid, and you put him in fucking New York, and you put him on the Jets, he's going to be around a whole lot of shit that he's never been around, and especially in that locker room, and his eyes are going to do this, and then the media is going to get on his ass. And I think they should have went for Justin Fields, a kid who probably can handle shit like that a lot better than Zach Wilson. Because I think Fields he's been through it all at Ohio State. He got no credit pretty much a lot throughout the year for how good he played, and nobody thought they deserved to be where they were. And he stepped up and played great. And I think the Bears have a Super Bowl defense. So my thing is, I would say Justin Fields, but I guess Matt Nagy is dumb as hell and doesn't want to start him for whatever reason. I don't see how you move up and get him and you don't start him. Right. I don't understand that.
To be honest with you, I think Matt Nagy was more the problem than what Mitch Trubisky was.
You know what? I don't disagree.
I think Mitch Trubisky had ability. He could be a decent. I'm saying he's going to be a top level quarterback, but he could have been a good starting quarterback in the NFL with the right system. And Nagy,
I think
I don't know. Nagy's offense to me is the stupidest damn offense I've ever seen. You'll hand the ball 5 times and try to gain a fucking yard. Hand the ball to your running back and let him go get a goddamn yard. And he won't.
I don't get it. And
Let's do triple reverses on 3rd and 1.
Just overthinking it, man. They overthink it. Wasn't that Chuck Pagano's 4th down play was the worst 4th and 1 or whatever in NFL history? Sorry.
Worst special teams play ever.
What the fuck was that? You just see it. NFL is a sport you see that more than anything. Overthinking. Like, oh my God, it's 3rd and 1. Move forward. If you can't get a yard, you don't deserve to win the game. Right. You don't have to run this super trick play and all that. Get a goddamn yard. Like, get a yard, man. So I wish Trubisky went to a team where he would get a chance to play with a QB who might get hurt or something like that, or where a young QB might get benched for a game or two if he's just having a real bad game. Because Josh Allen doesn't miss games. He's a big, strong guy, and maybe he plays in some blowouts to get his value up. But sadly, I think Trubisky's about to fade into the darkness. Yeah. You know what I mean? Josh Rosen style. I thought Josh Rosen deserved more of a chance than he got.
He got no chance, dude. That dude.
No.
That's fucked up, man.
Major screw.
That's fucked up. Especially when you take Tua, and it's like, man, you could at least gave Rosen a shot if you're just gonna take Tua. Yeah. You know, because Tua wasn't doing anything special. So that was rough because Rosen's career is over. We're being honest. He ain't gonna never get a shot to play for real again.
I think he must have been hard to get along with or something, because everywhere he went, he got a couple other places, but as like backup places, but he still didn't really stick.
Yeah, because he was on the practice squad last time I checked, and I was looking at it like, I was pissed off at the Cowboys. Like, okay, Gary Gilbert or whatever played cool for a game before he got hurt. But I'm like, if you put fucking Ben DiNucci out there one more time, man, let me throw a couple passes.
Right.
You could just let the fans suit up and say, hey, every quarter we'll switch off a fan if you buy the exclusive seats or something. Because we're going to lose anyway. You got Ben DiNucci out there looking like a damn, I don't know.
Hey, I'll go out there and throw a couple passes as long as they have a beer waiting for me when I walk off the field.
Yeah. You give me 10% of what you paying these guys to go. I'll run head first, no lineman. Hey. I'll run out there and just get sacked. I don't care.
Hell, I got the cage and didn't get paid for it.
I do it for the love of the game, right?
Yeah, as a lifelong Cowboy fan, that was hard to watch. Dude, we've had some hard times to watch, but that was really hard to watch.
That wasn't one of my smartest decisions I've ever made, but it was a fun night. It was a fun night.
When you told the story, it didn't look like you regretted it much. For what you remembered. I will say for what you remembered. Oh, man. That man said, fuck it, I don't got to drive. I might as well.
Yeah, his dad was like, my uncle was like, yeah. He said, I ain't going to drink till we get back to Muncie. I'm like, okay. You don't got to tell me twice.
Next thing you know, you're in the middle of a cage and the ref's talking about, you ready?
Fucking cut fell out in the middle of the fight. Dude, that was a mess.
Classic night. That's a classic story, bro. I'm surprised that's not viral. That's a classic story. You just need the footage. All we need is the footage.
Dude, I wish I could. Somebody has it on a phone. I'm
sure.
Find that guy.
Oh man,
I'm sure, yeah.
Whoever was
Somebody's
hosting
got
might have
it.
had a camera set up on it.
Oh
or
yeah,
something.
I'm gonna find it somehow. I'd love to have the footage.
Who you guys think, no, it's early. Who you guys got Super Bowl matchup this year?
My dream Super Bowl matchup: Colts versus Cowboys.
That's your
Say
dream
right now.
matchup?
Yep. Because
I
I'm
wanna
equally
see-
from both states. I lived in both states for the same amount of years, and that to me that'd be my dream Super Bowl matchup. Would be Colts versus Cowboys.
This year, I like the Colts and the Rams.
That's your homer pick, though, right? That's what you want to see, right?
No, I think the Colts are going. I think the Colts are going to at least be in the AFC Championship game because you got the Chiefs. You got to get by.
I don't think that's like out of range. I think the Titans are going to be a tough out.
Yeah,
I think the AFC is so good on the top. Like their top teams are really good. Like
I think
Cleveland-
Broncos or not Broncos, Browns. Browns going to be tough.
Cleveland's going to be good, especially if Odell comes back and plays well. That whole division really. Like I think the Bengals are going to surprise people. They're going to be close to 500, I think, this year. I think Joe Burrow's back. I like the weapons they added. I like that team a lot.
But yeah, I'd probably
Always
say
pick a sleeper team. Go ahead.
I'd probably say the Chiefs, probably Chiefs and Rams. But I think the Colts could be in the AFC Championship game. You get there, you never know what happens.
Yeah, that is very true. I think the NFC, man, it could be anyone. It could be anyone. As much as I hate to say this, I'm going to regret even opening my mouth and saying these words, but the Niners could do it, man. The Niners defense is just, it's ridiculous.
I'd like to see him do it because I think I hope Jimmy G stays healthy the whole year, and I'd like to see him go win a Super Bowl. I think they done him wrong by going out and let's go get your replacement real quick.
I like Trey Lance. I didn't pick him
Trey
as
Lance
a guy
too, but man,
yeah, I didn't pick him as the rookie. I think would do well because I don't think he plays this year. I think it's not in their best interest to play him at all. But he's gonna be good. He's gonna be good. But now it's if you look like Mahomes, you mix kid with that curly hair, you're gonna go in the first round. You're going in the first round, brother.
Just like all the young coaches were getting hired because of McVay.
Oh yeah, yep, the same shit right there.
If you drank a cup of coffee with McVay, you was getting a head coaching job in the NFL.
if you're under the age of 30 and you can spell football, they'll interview you. Shit. I pray my Cowboys make the playoffs. I every year I think we have enough talent to make the Super Bowl for sure. It just never falls out that way. But for the NFC, man, I really think Justin Fields will start playing by week 4. I think the Bears defense is legit enough that if they go on the run at the right time, I think the Bears can make the fucking Super Bowl, man. I don't think they win it. I think the Chiefs will get back. But I think the Bears could win the Super Bowl seriously. The guys are getting old. The defensive players are getting older. They're hungrier. They look really good on the defensive side of the ball. Their offense, they probably got one more year before they have to let go of Allen Robinson because he's not going to sign another franchise tag. So they got to figure it out, and they got to do it now. If Matt Nagy doesn't blow it, their record should be a cakewalk. The Packers should be ass out. Aaron Rodgers ain't going to play till at least week, 3 or 4. Lions ain't worth a damn. And the Vikings ain't going to be any good, really, because I can't count on Kirk Cousins. So it's the Bears division to lose. To me, strictly on their defense alone, they can win that division. And if they limp into the playoffs and Justin Fields is playing like the back end of those games and they come in with that rookie quarterback, nobody scouted before, and he's just got to win. He got to make 10 plays on offense. The defense will take care of the rest. I think they can do it.
I think there's a good.
And they got a decent running game too. Montgomery.
Yeah.
Montgomery's a nice young back coming up.
Mm-hmm.
You got Cohen that
they can stay healthy.
Like they're pretty well rounded team as far as
they just need a quarterback.
Right. They don't have a real huge glaring weakness that where you see most teams have. Oh, this team's great, except for they got a shit O-line or they don't have no receivers. Their running game is crap. They can't pass rush, whatever. Like they don't really have a huge hole. Like
I agree.
I agree with that. Yeah.
None of the NFC teams are elite, right? Like even I would say like the best built team is probably what, Tampa Bay. Like if you're really being honest, they're beatable. They're very beatable to me. And every other team has a weakness. Like, the Cowboys, like we're a solid team, our secondary, our defense, the coaching job and shit like that. But every single team you break down in the NFC is going to be the exact same way. Saints, where they're going to do without Drew Brees. Their defense looked kind of iffy towards the end of the year. Then they couldn't really move the ball on offense. So you kind of saw they could have troubles.
Cardinals, they got how long will J.J. Watt play for? How many games? I mean, when he plays, he's a game changer on defense, but he don't play a full season.
He don't play.
Then you got D-Hop season 2. I mean, he can't do nothing either to get better.
I'll tell you, the team I think is going to be good or going to be better this year is going to be the New York Giants.
Yeah. With Saquon, dude, their defense is solid.
Yeah, they missed a lot with him being out last year.
I think they got him a good coach. I think that Judge is going to end up being a pretty good coach for him. But
as long as they got Jason Garrett calling plays, they ain't going to be on shit. I can't stand Jason Garrett. You won't hear me say not a good goddamn thing about him. I promise you.
I didn't even like when he was our backup quarterback.
I don't like how he looks. The fucking, what they call him, the ginger clapper. I can't stand him. I can't stand him, dude. Oh, he just sits there and does this and points at people. I'm like, you're not doing anything. I can't stand Jason Garrett, bro. How he was our coach for so long. Like, I call Jerry Uncle Jerry affectionately. That's Uncle Jerry. I love Jerry Jones to death. Man, he pissed me off with that one. I thought he must got pictures of you naked or something. Like, I don't understand how the hell you letting him coach us still. It's like Marvin Lewis when he was at the Bengals for 100 years. How in the hell are you still the coach? So the Giants, man, I think their defense is elite, very elite. And the best division in football is the Niners division by far. The Seahawks, Cardinals, Rams, and the Niners. Any one of those teams could win the Super Bowl, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Right.
I think the Cardinals are very good. I think Seattle's very good just because of Russell Wilson. What he can do on the field, he can elevate his team, especially in a playoff run when the regular season is the regular season. If you can win just 2 games and make the Super Bowl, anything can happen in that one game. It's the 2 games before. So anyone in that division could win it all.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it should be a very interesting season this year. Very entertaining season. Hopefully, anyways. I'm excited to get on with it.
Oh, yeah. What? Preseason starts in a couple of weeks.
I can't fucking wait for football season to come back, bro.
Dude, can't wait.
I can't
I'm going to watch the Hall of Fame game this year. That's how excited I am. Shit, man. Like,
We'll be live about every Sunday watching Colts game and all the other games. We usually have like 3 TVs going.
Oh yeah, whenever I'll tell you, I'm gonna fly out there to Indiana. You think I'm kidding? I'll go out there just to watch football for 1 week. That's all I'm about, man. Sports and good conversation. The first time I talked to you guys, we talked for 3-4 hours about everything under the sun. And it's like we met for the first time, didn't have a lot of conversation before, and the message is like, hey, doing a show, you want to come on? And sure, I'll come on, let's do it. And we had the best conversation. We went from strangers to friends to family in like 2 podcast episodes, right? So it's like sports just bring people together. Man, I would love to go out there and watch a game with you guys. I want to go to the Colts Stadium. I want to go to the Pacers Stadium. I want to see it all, man. It's just different vibe. It's a different aura. Just being at the game with people and you're not from there and all that stuff. It's nothing like it.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, people say, "Oh, well, I can sit at home and watch it better." Better no.
The experience.
Take your view, but you can't get the feeling that you get when you get there. I've been to several, lots of professional events from all different sports, and still every time I walk into a stadium, I get goosebumps or whatever.
People don't understand momentum and energy. They don't understand that matters. We saw it in the finals last night. Down 13, the way that crowd was rocking, and we saw it with Giannis when they count the free throws when he's shooting it. Yeah. You can 50,000 people shift the energy of the building, man. You got 50,000 people wishing on your downfall. You can feel it's tangible. You can feel it. Same way you can feel 50,000 people cheering for your success. So I think having fans back, it changes sports so much. And people don't understand and give credit. They're saying like, oh, well, the fans don't really matter. It matters so much.
Oh, yeah.
Bro.
Especially to the athletes, too, it matters. Like, that's.
You see, they had 65,000 fans outside, standing outside the arena, dude. That wasn't counting the inside. Outside in the street, 65,000 fucking people.
And in Milwaukee,
and they've been waiting.
And then they had some shootings.
Yeah.
3 people got shot.
Yeah, like 2 people died or something.
2 or 3 people got shot.
It's like they not only the 65,000, they're there 2 hours before fucking tip.
Yeah.
If Milwaukee ain't warm, you're out there and it's fucking the tip off is what 9 o'clock Eastern for you guys.
Yeah.
And that means you out there at 7 o'clock, and then you ain't going home till shit. If you went home, you're probably still outside.
Yeah.
Yep.
Seeing Giannis talking about that at the Chick-fil-A. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, I seen that.
He went to Chick-fil-A with the trophy and just started random fans running up to his car, and he's just talking to him. He ordered a 50-piece nugget. Like it was incredible. It was incredible.
Yeah, that fans make a difference, a lot of difference. I'm a huge Manchester United fan, and like the way that they do it there with the chanting and the singing during the middle of the game. I mean, that
Old Trafford.
Yeah, Old Trafford. Yeah, it is just crazy. Like hearing it and watching it on TV. Like I've never been there, but like I've been to other ones here. Just even Indy 11, the way that they get, that's electric. When you're in there and
the camera's shaking.
Yeah, and then everybody's chanting the same thing and jumping up and down. And,
it's like a college game,
right?
Because there's nothing like college football for that, right? People always say college football is different than the NFL, blah, blah, blah. It's strictly because of the fans. Yeah. It's because you got 19 to like 24-year-olds drunk off their ass, having the time of their lives, just yelling shit. And like it just makes for the best environments. That's why you see all the craziest stuff happen in college sports.
What do you think about them expanding the college football playoffs?
Too many teams.
I think 12. I think 8 would be perfect.
8, yeah. 12 is too many. Because when you think about it, like, okay, you got to play 3 rounds of football. How are you going to do that? Like, are you going to cut the season down? Because I think, like, we're going to see playoffs be ruined by injury way more than we've seen before. Because it's already football. You know what I mean? You're already going – every team's going to lose somebody for the season by week 3, right? But when you're playing in the playoff and now it's like, hey, we win 2 games to win the national championship, to now it's like we got to win 3. Somebody gets hurt in game 2, you're fucked. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter how good you are, what your record is, and I think it takes away from – we always want to see the best team win. Like, so with this year, even though the Bucks and all the injuries, I still think the best team deserved to win. We saw it happen regardless of all the injuries that took place. And I think college football, it'll take away so much. And now you got players who aren't like we said, name, image, and likeness is a real thing now. So you're going to have guys who don't give a fuck about a national championship. I just made $5 million in college after taxes and fees and all that shit. Yeah. Then I got a free education. I can give a damn about winning this championship right now. I'm going to Super Bowl. I'm going to the NFL next year. So I think we'll see a lot of that too. I think we'll see a lot of players sit the first playoff game or just a lot of fuckery because of that. I didn't like that move at all. I didn't like that. It's not basketball. You can't just make this big ass tournament and siphon March Madness idea.
Yeah. I think they're going to probably, I bet you with that, they're going to have to do some adjustments because there's going to be a lot of different things in that first couple of years. Like you said, the kids who are going to get too big of a head, they're going to fall off. For the ones that ain't never had money, what are they going to do with it? You're going to have them getting in trouble. For a while, it's going to be a whole bunch of problems that they don't know how to fix yet until it happens,
Yep. I 100% agree with you, brother. I 100% agree.
So they're going to have to probably be tweaking it for the next couple of years until they get it right with that.
And then it's not like we're going to – here's the thing about the college football playoff and the BS that comes with all of that, right? they sell it to us or they pitch it to us that we're going to see these matchups that we won't get to see and things like that. It'll be better and everyone will have an opportunity. When all it means is we'll have 4 SEC teams, 4 Big Ten teams or whatever, and sprinkle in one team from the other divisions. And we just going to see the same matchups we saw all goddamn year. Right. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're going to see Alabama, Auburn play one time in the regular season and one time in the first round of the playoffs. I guarantee that's what it is. It's going to be SEC rematches. And sometimes when a rematch, some teams just have your number or just your day or whatever it is, and it really ain't get the true winner wins. You know what I mean? So I think we'll just see it's just a more opportunity for the big leagues to get paid. That shit is not they ain't spreading the money around. This is SEC is going to get the big money. They're going to get the primetime slots. They're going to get the primetime games. They'll make the playoffs. They'll be 80% of the college football playoff.
Well, did you hear about, who was it? It's the Longhorns, wasn't it, that are trying to apply or thinking about trying to join the SEC?
No, it was a couple teams. I forget who they was.
Maybe
now.
Oklahoma. It was somebody in the Big 12 or whatever. You know,
when fucking
they're trying to switch over to the
fucking
SEC
Chuck Forrester
now.
got done running my hour of the day today.
Not Forrester again.
Hey, fuck him. No, Mark Forrester.
Gottlieb come back on, and he was talking about teams moving to the SEC, but I just pulled up to the house and I didn't stay in the car and listen to it.
I think they were saying it was either Texas or Oklahoma, one of those teams like that. I can't remember exactly which one, but I'm wanting to say it was Texas.
It's got to be Oklahoma, huh? Yeah, because Oklahoma's been better than Texas in recent years, so I don't see.
Yeah, it was
Texas
2 teams. I can't remember.
Was it 2?
Yeah, he was saying that 2 teams were trying to move.
Oh, maybe it was both. Maybe it was Texas and Oklahoma.
That makes sense.
I know you gotta get ready to get off here. Before we get off here, what do you think? Who you got in Dillashaw and Sandhagen this Saturday night?
My mind tells me Dillashaw. He should win, but something about it says he's just not. He don't got it anymore. I don't know if he has it anymore, and I just think this guy's younger, faster. Gonna be a step ahead of him, hungry, and it's not gonna work out for him. You know, I think he loses. I think he loses a close one, but I think TJ Dillashaw loses and he begins his decline.
I don't know if Dillashaw has that edge anymore.
Yeah, I would agree. All that scar tissue, man. That's how I feel. What it is you get that fucking scar tissue, man, and then you get one punch and now you're leaking. We saw it with the last pay-per-view in the female fight.
Bad.
What's her name? We did this last time. I can't think of her name. Kunitska. Yana Kunitskaya or whatever.
Yep.
She got tapped and it was a wrap. Like for her, she was leaking. And I'm like, it's not even that she got hit too much or the damage, but you could tell the blood coming out of her nose had a big effect on how she fought. She started thinking more, started doing this more. And then next, you know, she started eating punches. So I think what you see a lot of that with these Diaz brothers are going to bleed every fight, right? Mm-hmm. Their eyebrows are going to be split the fuck open every single fight. And it's never going to look good. Even when they're winning and even when they're dominating fights, it's never going to look good because they're going to be beat up. They're going to be cut up.
Exactly.
Yeah. Diaz, as soon as he gets touched, he's going to bleed.
Yeah.
But not only does that affect the fighter, that also affects the way the judges score the fight too.
Absolutely.
Because the judges think there's more damage getting done than what is really getting done because they're seeing more blood. It's the dude has scar tissue, so don't take as much to cut him, so he's going to bleed. Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why they need to, like you were saying earlier, have ex-fighters be the judges because they know that. You know, they've been there.
We talked about this before, like when they're during the bubble, how the UFC, COVID, as bad as COVID was for everyone, it helped the UFC so much because their product didn't change. The NBA was different. Like you couldn't even focus on the damn game. Football, it was weird. You couldn't really focus on the damn game.
They tried to put in that fucking fake ass crowd noise, and that made it worse.
Make it worse. UFC, like I said, just being the pure sport that it is man versus man, mano y mano, fight to the finish. Either one of you ain't gonna get up. You know, it don't matter who's in the fucking arena or not. You gonna be tuned in to watch. You walk out the hallway in high school and you see a fight, you gonna be late to class because you're gonna watch it. You know what I'm saying? Yep. It's that polarizing thing to it. So
something about the sound of flesh hitting flesh.
It's something about it, man. It's just something about seeing, like, I mean, we've all been punched, right? Everybody here been punched.
Oh, yeah.
So it's something about seeing a motherfucker get rocked and take it. You just gain a whole new level of respect for him, especially when it's a clean punch. Like, I watch people fight like Mayweather in his prime, and just the fact that no one could hit him. Or if you see some fights where Canelo is showing off his head movement and you just can't hit him, like, there's just something about respecting that elite level skill, understanding how hard it is to do something like that, right? And I think you see that a lot more with UFC because people see him like, hey, LeBron James go dunk from the half court line or something, and I can never do that. I don't give a fuck how much I train or whatever it is. Or you see like some of these throws and reading coverage and all this stuff that seems so difficult, but damn near everybody in America has been in a fist fight. Everybody knows what it is to punch and be punched at or connect with a punch. So you have a different level of respect because you really understand what's going on in the ring. Even if you don't know it at a high level, you understand the pressures and the nervousness of being knocked out and what that does for your life as far as for history. And there's always going to be an image of you. A meme is going to be out in 30 seconds. You're going to be trending. It's going to be on ESPN, Fox Sports, YouTube. It's a lot to get out there. It's not like getting dumped on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like getting mossed. What's the DeAndre Hopkins, the Hail Mary he caught over 3 dudes, right? We don't name who the fuck he caught the pass over, right? Nobody's like, man, those 3 guys got mossed or anything. But we gonna talk about McGregor getting his ass whooped by Poirier. Right. We remember that. You know what I'm saying? So that just be the difference in things right there.
Yeah. That's putting it familiar, you know, that's putting
making
a name
chains
to
of
it,
your
like
shit
not
knocked
just
out.
a random, you know, a football team player, you know, this man, this is his real name, this is who he goes.
Exactly. You see football player, right? If you're a running back in a football game, let's say you get 15 carries a game on average. Your running back's gonna get the ball 15 times. You're gonna get tackled probably 13 out of those 15 times, right? Nobody's gonna mark every time you got hit and be like, oh man, he got tackled 12 times today. When you get hit, like Sean O'Malley, he punched that guy 230 times.
Right. We know that. We know how many times he got punched.
And I felt like he got punched 230 times. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't feel like a guy got 30 carries in a game when they get 30 carries. When you go to an NBA game live, you see a guy drop 40. It don't look like 40. It don't feel like 40. When you watch somebody in UFC get their ass whooped, it looks like they got their ass whooped. The 9 minutes feels like 90 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just different, man. The UFC deserves the respect it gets. It's different.
Yeah, the fighters need to definitely get paid for putting their health, everything on the line, you know? And it's not like you can just train and do that overnight. It takes years and years and years of physical, mental abuse and torture on your own self. You know, you gotta be a little bit crazy. You gotta be a little different in the head to do all that. And to want
2 words. Cutting weight. That right there is.
I've cut so much weight in my life. Oh my God, that is the worst
that shit
thing to do.
Demonic.
Ever.
Yes.
Demonic. Yeah.
I hated it every second.
You drink so much water, it tastes like poison after a while. Like, fighters don't get enough credit. Dana pay these guys more. God damn it. I'm sick of you,
it makes
Dana.
no sense. You know what? There's 2 guys putting the exact same equal amount of everything on the line. The winner should always get more than the loser.
I'll leave it at this. To all you guys that watch The Ultimate Fighter, I'll never miss a week. If Chris Mutino made $15,000, right? How much you think these fucking guys in The Ultimate Fighter are making?
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
500.
Probably nothing. Because if you watch it, all he says is, this is the opportunity of your life. You guys are never going to get an opportunity. He's making it known right there. You're here for the opportunity. You're not here for money. You haven't earned money yet. And it's crazy because now these guys fighting, 3 times in 12 weeks. And then you get in the UFC and you're ready for your big payday and it's 15 grand. It's a dirty game, man. It's a dirty world we live in.
So dirty.
Trying to hit it.
Yeah.
want to thank everybody for joining us. We'll give a big shout out to Ice Cold for joining us. Thanks, brother. Hope we can have you on again here soon. Make sure you go check out his show, The Ice Cold Show. It's a good podcast. Go give it a listen. Don't forget we're live every Monday through Friday at 11 Eastern with Easy Money, a sports betting show. We're giving out winners for free. Come join us. Also, we're live with GSR Gonzo'S Sports Room every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 1 p.m. Both them shows are live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Also, please hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate it. Also, we have merch available. Please check out our merch store at streamlabs.com/Gonzo'S Sports/merch. We have some shirts, a couple hats. We'll have some other stuff coming here real soon. Also, we'll be live later this evening at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time with live reaction to the Bare Knuckle FC 19 tonight with Van Zant against Ostovich. Come join us for that. And then we'll also be live tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern Time for the UFC Fight Night. Prelims start at 4 Eastern. Main card starts at 7. Sandhagen versus Dillashaw is the main event. So come join us for that too as well. But appreciate everybody watching. Hope you have a good weekend. See you guys later. Peace.
When I put it on a shelf, when it come down to it, I'ma bet on me. Ain't nobody fuck with me mentally. Talking that shit, you dead to me. Cause I ain't got time for my enemies. Told her come through, get ahead to me. Telling that truth, it'll set you free. I ain't like them, cause I'm all I need. When it come down to it, I'ma bet on me. Hey, this an 8-figure mindset. A lot of people want it, but they scared of the progress. I ain't from the projects, but I got my own story that a lot of y'all couldn't ever really process. Didn't when nobody would've given me a second. Now they all come around giving me a lesson. If you ain't want it back then, you ain't coming where I'm headed. I've been thinking I'm the greatest, even if nobody said it. I'm a spaz on the beat, ain't nobody that compete. In a whole different league, they ain't never catching me. I'm the only one to be calling shots for the team. If I want it, I'ma get it, there ain't nothing stopping me. Put my own money in, I don't own nobody's shit. Every week dropping hits, I don't never gotta miss. Put myself on the line, I'ma always take the risk. When it come down to it, I ain't never call it quits. When it come down to it, I'ma bet on me. Ain't nobody fuck with me mentally. Talking that shit, you dead to me. Cause I ain't got time for my enemies. Told her come through, get ahead to me. Telling that truth, it'll set you free. I ain't like them, cause I'm all I need. When it come down to it, I'ma bet on me.
Aye, we had some pride. Put it aside. Cutting the pie. With all the guys, Made mistakes and then I made up my mind. What I decide? I gotta grind. I gotta grind. I gotta grind. I gotta grind. All of the time. 24/7. 365. Gotta get mine. Stay on my grind. Aye. Look, it's business, ain't personal. Money straight, so I'm curving them. Whoa, he been tweaking, something irking him. Did them favors, they was not deserving them. Boy, I be thinking a mile a minute. They gotta be kidding. We go to war, I'm the captain, the general, and the lieutenant. Nowhere to run or hide, I don't stop till it's finished. Me, I be minding my business, drop more records than Guinness. Gotta be a Guinness World Record. Don't play chess nor checkers. I only play for keeps. Came out the east, boy, I'm a beast. He gotta keep the peace. That thing on him is keeping the peace. I never sleep out in the streets. Gotta stay out there, reach. With the mob, talk that talk. Seiko peace, Feel so big, talking Papa, Sean and Meech. We had some pride. Put it aside. Cutting the pie. With all the guys, Made mistakes and then I made up my mind. What I decide? I gotta grind. I gotta grind. I gotta grind. I gotta grind. All of the time. 24/7. 365. Gotta get mine. stay on my grind, yeah. This just in, more doing, less discussion. Killing every single beat I'm touching. Sick with it, need a Robitussin. Moving fast, but I'm never rushing. Damn boy, it's really other son. Say you poppin', but I know you wasn't. Not my brother and you not my cousin. Yeah, nah, we never buddy. I like to drink to my vision fuzzy. Money got me feeling lovey-dovey. I say a prayer to the God above me. Tell him I'm back, yeah. I gotta stay in my zone, man. Maybe I'll come with the dogs, yeah. Maybe I'll do it alone, yeah. Either way, I get what's sold to me. Never believe what's told to me. City on lock, I hold the key. We can't link, I got goals to meet. Yeah, that's facts. Put the island on my back. Grind cause we gotta eat. Yeah, we the ones they wanna see, man. With the mob, talk that talk. Shake a piece, shit. Feel so big, talking Papa, Sean and Meech. Yeah. We had some pride. Put it aside. Cutting the pie. With all the guys, yeah. Made mistakes and then I made up my mind. What other side? I gotta grind, yeah. I gotta grind. I gotta grind. I gotta grind. All of the time, yeah. 24/7, 365. Gotta get mine. Stay on my grind, yeah.
I'd probably take her.
Stoner thoughts. Happy 420.